Hello and welcome everybody to a very special set of videos we have for you guys. This is the first tournament that we've held online. We did it with the WSSB, their link will be in the description below. And yeah, we got around 41 people for this tournament. It was a great turnout. We got some great matches that I'm very proud and honoured to be able to show you guys today. This is the first quarterfinals. We recorded two quarterfinals, both of the semifinals and the finals, of course. So in this quarterfinals we have ThatKiddS1 or ThatKiddS1, I'm not entirely sure, but it doesn't really matter because WizrdX is taking the first stock really emphatically, with a little Mac as well. But it's a very, very stern response from the Kirby, taking it back almost immediately with no damage on board whatsoever. So I must preface before any more major stuff like that happens, but we got a shield break. Oh my god, I don't have a second to speak. Okay, 34 damage off the shield break. It's a little bit unfortunate he couldn't punish more, but that's what happens when you shield break at 0%. I must preface by saying that this is the first quarterfinals. It is a best of 5, not a best of 3 like what we usually show on the channel. It's a best of 5 and so will all of the other matches be. But regardless, that's out of the way. We are back into this match now with the Kirby kind of taking it to the Little Mac. The Little Mac has the KO punch though, and that is something that Kirby's going to have to be careful of. But there you've just seen it. I was about to say Kirby is a small target, very light, very quick and very floaty, so it's going to be tough for Little Mac to nail any of those big punches like what he likes to do. And as we see there, it's going to be a little bit easier for Kirby to land their big punches or kicks or whatever it was I didn't really see. Oh, and the Dragon Ball Z coming out. I wonder really how much this benefits Little Mac, because as I was saying, Kirby is a smaller target, and his aerial recovery is what I was going to say. His aerial recovery, like what you just seen there, very floaty. He gets, I think, 7 or 6 jumps. I can't entirely remember. Whereas Little Mac barely gets 1. It is kind of without question that Little Mac's aerial recovery is one of the weakest parts of his whole moveset. So it'll be very interesting to see now over the course of this match how much of an impact that will cost WizrdX. And just with every little hit that Kirby is putting on, it is just becoming insurmountable for Little Mac to come back. And is that the end of it? It is not the end of it, unfortunately, for the kids, or ThatKiddS1. I'm going to call him That Kid, it is a little bit easier for me. But yeah, after just every little pummel like what we're seeing now is just getting so much bigger of a mountain to climb for WizrdX to take this first game off of That Kid. Not impossible, don't get me wrong, it is not impossible. It is Smash Bros after all, anything is possible. Oh, but That Kid catches him with the forward tilt, taking the game in his favour. So on we move now to game 2 of this best of 5 series between That Kid and WizrdX, and as we can see, a big change from WizrdX, going from that Little Mac into his, what I would imagine to be a pocket Ganon. Ganon can be a very scary character. The only problem is that he is a hurtbox on legs, especially for Kirby, who is very small and very light. As you can just see there, the fair train is in motion. But equally for Ganon, why do many move when few move do trick? It is a case with Ganon where you need to dodge him every time. He needs to catch you once, and if he catches you, it is good night. But that's not counting Kirby out. Like, as you can see, the scoreboard tells the tale, and it is 99 up to 125% with the smash, going to take it out right there for That Kid, getting the first stock in this game, which could be very pivotal, because if you get momentum against Ganon, it is very tough for him to bring it back. You can see him chasing with the I can't remember the name of it. Is it the Warlock? No, Ganon's moves always confuse me. There's like a wizard kick and a warlock punch, and then the grab that he has. The moves, the names always confuse me, and the moves themselves always frighten me. But nonetheless, the Kirby is absolutely taking to this Ganon. Is that going to be the second stock? And the disrespect from That Kid. the entire disrespect with the footstool. You have got to respect the hustle though, is the only problem. But like I was saying, in the first stock I think it was, the momentum is going to be huge here. Not only does that kid have the first game, doesn't tree stock unfortunately for that kid, but is still at a really big advantage, especially since this guy's Kirby seems to have all of the sauce. But like what I just said about Ganon, 1 or 2 hits can bring him right back into the game, but he misses the ledge, and unfortunately for WizrdX, that is going to be the end of game 2. If WizrdX wants to take this first game and stay in the competition, he's going to need to reverse trio that kid. And on we jump straight into the next match. I must apologise for that because my recording system didn't record this match. Luckily enough, I saved it on my Switch. So as you can see, it doesn't say the guys' names at the bottom of the screen, it just says Little Mac and Meta Knight. But the scoreboard up at the top will show that WizrdX has gone back to his Little Mac, and that kid has changed, although not that much, staying in series, going from Kirby to Meta Knight. Honestly, I've not seen a whole lot of Meta Knight in this game. It's a character that, honestly, I think we've seen more than enough of during Brawl, that I think it was enough for a lifetime, if you ask me. But it would be nice to see him get a comeback. I haven't heard much about him. Granted, I do not know a whole lot of if he's in any way good, but I suppose there's no better way to find out than in the inaugural, the beginning tournament between WSSB and SSBA. Links in the description. So yeah, as we can see, it seems to be fairly evenly matched. A little bit more evenly matched, I would say, than the Kirby matchup. Especially for WizrdX, who really isn't at much of a disadvantage. Oh, but in saying that, the first stock is gone in the favour of ThatKiddS1. I really hope it's that kid or ThatKiddS, but I suppose none of that matters because WizrdX responds very sternly with the smash, able to get the stock back into his favour. It is now just a matter of percents. And like I was saying earlier on, if WizrdX would like to stay in this competition and make it to hopefully the finals or the semi-finals, he needs to reverse trio, meaning he needs to win every single match from here on in if he would like to stay in the competition. And up against somebody like that kid or ThatKiddS1, it is going to be tough. But he has the KO punch. Let's see if he can make anything of it. It is famously difficult to land, especially with a character like Meta Knight, who has the aerial mobility of Kirby, but is super quick and can just come out of nowhere with them, what I call the horn drill attacks, where he just kind of turns into a drill. And yeah, just looking at Little Mac's KO meter, it is gone. Now, I was speaking and I was kind of paying attention to what I was saying, so I didn't see whether he used it or whether it just faded away, but regardless of that, the aerial mobility is going to be enough to take the second stock for ThatKiddS1. It's a very dominant performance here from that kid. He is putting in some sauce with his Kirby characters. It is going to take some man for one man to take him down, is all I'm going to say. Just showing shades of that Kirby match with every little pummel and every little hit that he's putting in on that WizrdX. Sorry, not that WizrdX, just WizrdX. With every little pummel and hit, it's just becoming a bigger mountain for him to climb, especially with that Little Mac. But we are at an equal stock, equal percentage situation in this match right now. With the KO punch on, oh, but he misses the KO punch just as I recommended. Just as I mentioned. I don't know where that word came from. And there you see it, the horn drill attack that I call it. It just comes out of nowhere and can send you off the stage just like that. I believe that is going to be the end of the game. So there you have it, folks. That is ThatKiddS1 into the semi-finals. That was the first quarterfinal. The second quarterfinal will be linked at the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time.